Hey guys, I put together a New Year's Eve look from makeup to hair. We're gonna start with hair. Fresh out of the shower, scrunch it dry, don't brush it. Now we're gonna apply the sea salt spray, which is my very favorite product of all time. I use it on every single client. I cannot live without using it on myself every time I do my hair, whether I blow dry it smooth or messy or curly or air dry it. It's my favorite. So a lot of that at the roots and on the ends. This is an amazing product from L'Oreal, which is in their Hollywood Waves line. I can't remember exactly what it's called, so I'll put it down in the description. I like to blow dry around my face because the front of my face never cooperates. I always have cowlicks and crazy things happening, so that's what I like to do. Now, taking that nozzle off, I'm going to put the diffuser on, and I'm just going to roughly diffuse my hair. In a previous video, I showed you guys how to do it without getting it all frizzy. This time, I'm not really caring. I just want volume and texture like that. Now I'm just going to pick out some little pieces around the face, not doing it too perfectly, just grabbing at some pieces that are going to fall when I put my hair up a little bit. Now I'm going to split my hair in half, whatever you feel works for you. You might need a little more hair if your hair is fine, a little less if your hair is thick, just whatever suits you. And now it's back combing time. I'm just trying to make this section of hair that I grabbed the biggest that I possibly can. I'm not trying to make a bunch of root volume necessarily. I just want the whole piece to be big and full of texture. Now I'm using the scrunchie to make a little top knot. I'm not doing anything crazy at the moment. It's just gonna look like a messy bun. And then I'm gonna use pins to create the shape. Bobby pins, that is. Treat it like a pin cushion. Now I'm gonna curl around my face, just giving some really nice stretched out waves. Definitely every piece around my face and then every other piece-ish throughout the rest of my hair. Again, doing this quite quickly so that it's not necessarily curly, but more wavy. I do have a separate tutorial on this, which I call the wrap and twist technique, but I don't know if that's officially what it's called. I just don't know how else to explain it. So yeah, every other section kind of. Definitely whatever's sitting on the top layer, a little bit underneath. Some of those little pieces coming out of the bun. Your bun may shift a little bit, so after this I'm probably gonna have to go in with some bobby pins just to correct the balance of that giant bun on the top of my head. Checking the shape there, definitely needing a little bit of tweaking with the bun, and the nice thing about having so much texture in your bun from that back combing we did earlier is that it's literally like a pin cushion. You don't have to open up these bobby pins, you just stick them in and they'll stay. Now once you've achieved that balance, you want to go in and break up all of those waves that you put in. It's not going to look like much, and as you can see, it feels a little flat on the bottom half of my head, but that's okay because there's another step coming up involving back combing again. All right, so I'm gonna grab the top section there and back comb underneath. I'm gonna do that all around my whole head. You can put a little more if you want. This back combing comb is incredible because it creates like a really dense back combing, and then also you can use it to sort of like froth up the ends lightly too if you need to. But it's amazing. If you back comb with this, it holds really well. I'll put a link actually to one in my description. Yeah, they're just amazing. Okay, of course, I'm using my dry texture spray from Davines. I'll put a link to this in the description too because you guys ask about it a lot, but just watch how much of a difference it makes to put this in my hair. Like, it grows. You can literally watch it expand. And it kind of works like a hairspray where it gives my hair a little bit of hold too, but without the stickiness. Whoa, humongous hair. Now to the makeup part. I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette entirely on my eyes this time. So this, what I'm putting on my lid, is called Lumbre, I want to say. Lumber. I feel like it's Spanish and probably Lumbre. I'm just patting that on. And then I'm taking their lightest shade in the palette called Ounce and putting that into the corners of my eyes and blending it into the other rest of the shadow. Under my eyes, I'm putting Low Blow, which is a much more neutral shade. The other one's quite rosy. This one's, it's still warm, but it's a little more toned down than the super copper rosy color on my eyelids. And then I'm blending Ounce, that lighter shade, once again into my bottom lids there. There's a shade in here called Ashes, which I'm now applying with a really small angled brush into my lash line, and I'm gonna blend that all in. As you can see, I've gone pretty low with the eyeshadow, and I'm using a big brush, so it's really nice and smoky. Now in my crease, I am putting Cayenne. It's a really beautiful copper shade, and I'm just gonna spend a bunch of time blending this out and bringing it out to the outer corner. I don't like to put a lot in the inner corner, but that's just because my eye shape doesn't really allow it. Just spend time blending. Take your time. Now I'm taking that same shade that I put on my lash line on the bottom up on the top lash line, that's Ashes, with the same little brush. I'm not gonna go hardcore with eyeliner this time because I feel like it's such a smoldering eyeshadow. And I don't have much for eyelids, so sometimes when I wear eyeliner, it just takes away from it. Moving on to mascara. I'm using a mascara that I don't really love, but it's just what I have. Now in my waterline, I'm applying a Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. I'm going to write what it's called in the description because I don't have it on me and I cannot remember right now. But I like it because it does match the shade that I use to create kind of like an eyeliner on the top and bottom lashes. So it's a nice like plum kind of tone. And now I am going to do a little bit of contouring. I'm not huge on contouring. I definitely don't use any like cream contouring because I worry that I won't know how. So I'm just using a contour kit from Smashbox. This is the contour shade. And then I'm going to warm it up with the bronzer that's in that palette. Just kind of go over top of it a little bit and above the contour with the bronzer. The contour is quite ashy on your skin, so you definitely need to warm it up afterwards. You can't really just leave it, otherwise you'll look like your face has dirt on it. For blush, I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics California. It says Live in the Galifornia Dream on the back. I have no idea what the actual shade is, but that must be it. It's really glowy, so I like it, and it can be subtle or a little more colorful depending on how you layer it and build it. And now I'm highlighting with the NARS Powder Highlight in Albatross. It's easy to use, just really gently tapping it on onto my temples, my nose, my cheekbone. And then the NARS concealer in Vanilla, I'm putting that underneath my eyes and just blending it out a little bit. I like to do concealer after eyeshadow because I can kind of be a little more particular about where I want the shape to be on my under eyes, if that makes any sense at all. For my brows, I'm using the Nude by Nature Brow Mascara in Blonde. It's great. It actually makes me feel like I have eyebrow hair, which is difficult usually. Because it has some good hold in it. It's like an eyebrow gel, but with tint. Now my favorite ever lip liner. A lot of you guys ask me what I'm wearing on my lips, and a lot of times it is just this with lip balm. This is the Boxom Plump Line Lip Liner in the color Hush Hush. And it has a little brush on the other side of it so you can actually blend it out a little bit nicer and soften the look. Now for my lip color, I'm using the Boxom Vava Plump in Honeydew, and I really like this actually. It's not like a matte liquid lipstick, it's more like a gloss with a lot of pigment, and I think it just ties the whole entire look together. So thank you guys so much for watching this friggin' thing and making it to the end with me. Soon you're gonna see me transform, there we are, into a New Year's gal. And I'll pose for you for like a second. Okay, see you guys later.